Control players unite.
The top 10 cards for control in the Black Bolt White Flare expansion. And honestly, ladies and gentlemen, there isn't too much from this set by way of game changers, but I'll let you decide. Please let me know what you think of the list in the comments. First, we have 2 honorary mentions. Ignition Energy is going to help pretty much anything with a high colorless attack cost. It reads, if this card is attached to one of your Pokemon, discard it at the end of your turn. It provides a single colorless energy while it's attached to a Pokemon. But if it's attached to an evolution Pokemon with or without a rule box, it provides 3 colorless instead. So think of something like Wugtrio being able to mill without needing to wait for a KO in order to use reversal energy. Next, we have Fennel. The card reads, heal 40 damage from each of your Pokemon. This card is capable of nullifying pretty much any spread deck's damage or any deck with a lot of self-damage. It could also be just a nice one-off in a heal control deck. At number 10, we have Elgyem, or however it's pronounced. For 1 psychic energy, its slight shift attack reads, move an energy attached to one of your opponent's Pokemon to another of their Pokemon. It's a lower HP, lower cost Team Rocket Zapdos, except this card's actually quite exciting because it moves an energy from any Pokemon, not just the active. You could attack your opponent's Budew, for instance, and move their Dragapult's energy on the bench to Budew itself. It's a basic and splashable into a toolbox control deck, especially if the psychic theme is important. Moving on to number 9, we have Cobalion. This card is a partial reprint of Cobalion EX from Plasma Storm. Both have the same attack effect. In this case, Black Bolt White Flare Cobalion has Holy Edge. For 20 base damage and a single metal energy, discard 1 special energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. This card is on the list because with the potential popularity of Team Rocket Energy and the new Prism Energy in Black Bolt White Flare, a simple one-off in a toolbox deck can do massive upheaval. At number 8, we have Genesect EX. Its attack will tank 30 damage, but its ability Metal Signal is what we want. It reads, once during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 2 Metal Evolution Pokemon, reveal them, and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. This card can exponentially help aggro heal Archetype EX and a tanking Camparaja EX set up on turn 2 among any number of metal archetypes. At number 7, we have Crocodile. The Tighten Up attack does 60 base damage for 1 colorless and 1 darkness energy. And it says your opponent discards 2 cards from their hand. Unlike Arbok EX before it, Crocodile's attack is manageable to pull off, and with a luxurious cape it has the same amount of HP, and frankly it's also worth 2 prizes. I'm not sure hand control is back with this card, but it certainly doesn't hurt. At number 6 we have Gothitelle. Its Twisted Future ability reads, once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may have your opponent shuffle their hand into their deck and draw 3 cards. This card can mess up the large hands typically seen by the likes of Goldengo EX, among others. Retreating Gothitelle out of the active into something like the aforementioned Crocodile, or even using Xeroxic's Machinations first, can seriously disrupt your opponent's game plan. Xeroxic reads, your opponent discards cards from their hand until they have 3 left. So your opponent will presumably keep the 3 most important cards, then you just shuffle them away so they can't use them. At number 5, we have Cubchoo. For 1 water energy, it does 10 damage, Snot Covered it's called. It says, during your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon cannot attack. Now why is this card at number 5, ladies and gentlemen? Because unlike Team Rocket's Murkrow, which has a 2 energy cost and forces one to choose an attack on one's opponent's Pokemon, and Pangoro, which is a stage 1 and also requires one to choose an attack, Cubchoo is a basic with an attack that covers all attacks. That's right. The opposing Pokemon just flat out cannot attack, no strings attached. You don't have to choose an attack. It's all of them are covered. Now your opponent can just retreat out of it, but with Toedscool in play, the energies will not return to their hand from the discard pile. So you have a workable strategy. Cubchoo in a toolbox deck might just be able to hold off the opponent late game. At number 4, we have Mandibuzz. Its ability Hunt for Prey reads, once during your turn, you may have your opponent reveal their hand. Choose a basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less you find there, and put it under their bench. Now, ladies and gentlemen, whether the ability works with your opponent having a full bench or not doesn't matter. The fact that you can look at your opponent's hand from the bench without using a trainer card is insanely good. Zubat from Pokemon 151 looks at the hand as well on an ability, but it has to be in the active spot and it only has 40 HP. I can see Mandibuzz in any number of control decks, especially considering its attack cost is covered by Ignition Energy, just in case you need it. It does, after all, one-shot Mew EX. At number 3, we have Jellicent EX. Its ability Sea Curse reads, as long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, your opponent can't play any item cards or attach any Pokemon tools from their hand. This card can add a control flavor to Gardevoir EX or possibly become its own archetype. Perhaps with the aforementioned Elgium, we could have a monotype control deck in Psychic, but really anything can work with it, including Sylveon EX, since it only needs one Psychic Energy and anything else to attack. Power Press does 80 plus 80 more damage if this Pokemon has at least 2 extra energy attached to it in addition to this attack's cost. Again, Ignition Energy covers the extra cost. And maybe Jellicent, ladies and gentlemen, has the ability it does because of this next card at number 2, Air Balloon, a reprint from Sword and Shield. It says, the retreat cost of the Pokemon this card is attached to is 2 colorless less. That's right. Are you afraid of your opponent gussing up your 2-star retreat cost supporting Pokemon? Have no fear. With Air Balloon, free retreat is just an attachment away. I can see this card doing wonders for control decks alone for that reason alone. Splash 2 copies into your deck and rest easy for not having a switch card if you don't want to have one. But you do need to be careful, ladies and gentlemen, because at number 1, we have Tool Scrapper, a reprint from Rebel Clash. This card is a menace to deal with. It's an item card that states, choose up to 2 Pokemon tools attached to Pokemon, yours or your opponent's, and discard them. So suppose you're retreat locking your opponent with Gravity Gemstone, but that no longer works. The retreat locking strategy is not working, so you want to get rid of it. So just use Tool Scrapper and put something else on your Pokemon if you want anything else at all. Or maybe you're playing aggro control, and Hero Escape is preventing you from taking a KO. Well, just play Tool Scrapper and get rid of it. 2 copies of this card, and you can eliminate all 4 Ancient Booster Energy Capsules from Ancient Box. And even just a single copy out of nowhere can surprise your opponent, giving you an opportunity to strike. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. What did I miss? Where am I wrong? Please leave a comment, take care of yourselves, and may God hold you in the palm of his hand.